Well, good morning, everybody. I have a new look today as I'm trying out a new program called Screencastify. But be that as it may, let's get on with our story today, which is a continuation from last week when we're talking about genes, not the kind that you wear, but the kind that are inside of you, the kind that give you your traits, the kinds of things that come from your great grandparents and your grandparents and your parents' genes. Those things inside you that make you who you are today. What are genes? Now, we're going to start looking at our story. Remember Josh and Claire and their parents? And these little things right here that are called genomes. Now let's go. Page 2. Josh looks at a picture of his family. That's what we're looking at right up here, a picture of Josh's family. He sees his mom, dad, and sister. All right, so this is Josh right here. He sees his mother, his father, and his sister. Josh and Claire look like their parents. Now, you can't tell it too much from this picture because they're so small, but they look like their parents, and when they both grow up, they'll look even more like their parents. I wonder why that is. Maybe we'll find a clue in our story. Dad has brown hair and brown eyes. Josh does too, just like his father. Mom has blonde hair and blue eyes, and Claire does too. Just like her mother, it is in their genes. Your body, with your hands and your nose and your mouth and your eyes and your ears and your hair, you have more hair than I do, and your bald spot and your arms and your legs, your body, all of your body has many cells in it, and cells are very, very tiny things. And each cell has a job to do. Did you know that? Just like you have jobs, cells have jobs. So some cells make you smell. Say that 3 times really fast. Some cells make you see. Some cells let you hear. Some cells health. Some cells are skin. Some cells are fingernails, right, like that, and knuckles. Cells. Each cell has a job, and a joint that bends your finger. Inside of each cell, there's even smaller things. You can't even see a cell that's so small, and inside is a cell that's even smaller, that's so small that you can't see it, is DNA. DNA is in each cell. DNA tells the cell what to do. So the DNA tells a little cell, hey, cell, you're not supposed to be an eyeball. You're an ear. And the cell goes, oh, okay, I forgot. Let me go be an eyeball. The DNA tells the cells what to do. DNA looks like a ladder. Look at this. A ladder has rungs on it, and it steps up or it steps down depending on which direction you're going in a very regular way. Look at these lines that go straight across. And notice there's 4 different colors and 4 different letters. There's blue, green, yellow, and red. And you would think that the letters would have to do with the colors, but they don't. There's A, T, C, and G. DNA looks like a ladder. Each rung of the ladder has information. Look, each rung starts up here at the top, Each rung has two colors to it. This one has blue and red, yellow and green, red and blue, green and blue, and red and green and yellow. It's all kinds of different combinations. The rungs, this is a rung, these lines that go across, straight across. The rungs make up the genes. DNA looks like a tower of blocks. That's another way to put it. That's, in a fancy word, is analogy. An analogy is to help you visualize something that's so small you can't even see it. How would you know if you weren't visualizing something you can see, what something you can't even see looks like? That's why we're using an analogy, something that's similar to help us understand something. DNA looks like a tower of blocks. Look at these blocks. See, DNA, we have a color and 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 a color next to each other. Over here, the tower of blocks, we have a color and a color, a color and a color, a color and a color next to each other. You can make different towers with blocks. You can have all your different colors of blocks and stack them all up and use the different colors together. And each tower will look just a little bit different than anybody else's tower. And if we were in class today, we'd have lots of Lego blocks and we'd build up our towers and then we'd compare them and see how they're alike and how they're different. This is just like your genes. Everybody has towers made up out of blocks, but everybody looks just a little bit different. And some people, yeah, well, some people look a whole lot different, but we won't get into that. You get genes from your parents. It's something they give you, but they don't have to wrap it up and give it to you for your for Christmas or for your birthday. It's something that is just there. It's just in them. And then when you're created, it's just in you too. Some genes come from your dad, and some genes come from your mom. They combine together. Your genes, some from your mom, some from your dad, and they mix together and they make you. It's kind of cool. Genes make you special, and you are special. Genes make your hair color. Mine used to be a light brown, but now it's more like white. Genes make your eye color. Many of you have beautiful brown eyes. Genes tell if you're tall or short. Josh has a gene for brown hair. Dad has a gene for brown hair. Oh my goodness. Josh got to share his father's gene for brown hair, and now he has the gene for brown hair. Claire, his sister, has a gene for blonde hair, and mom has a gene for blonde hair. So Claire gets to share mom's gene for blonde hair. Your DNA and genes come from your parents. It's not something that you have any choice in. It's not something they have any choice in. You can't tell them, Dad, how come you didn't give me a gene for being tall? Because he can say, it's not my fault. I didn't do it. I gave you genes. They just flowed out of me. This is called a family tree. And this shows where some of your genes have come from. Josh and Claire are the brother and the sister that we've been exploring. Now, they came from their mother and father, their mom and dad. Those two people, when they got together and had kids, combined their genes together, and their genes got mooshed around and shared between Josh and Claire. Now, Dad has parents too. We call them, or you would call them, Grandma and Grandpa. Grandma and Grandpa got together and their genes all mooshed around together and they made Dad. Mom also has a grandma and a grandpa, and her grandma and grandpa's genes all got mooshed together and they all squirted out and they made Mom. So Josh and Claire are a combination of genes from Mom and Dad, from grandma and grandpa over here, from grandma and grandpa over here, and then from great grandpa and great grandma, they got together and their genes smooshed together and they made Grandma Barb. And Grandpa Gene also had a great grandpa and they smooshed together over here and made genes. It's just squooshing them all together and you come out and we get who you are. Isn't that cool? That's our lesson today on genes. I hope you got a little bit of sense of how special you are from the mixing of genes and the passing on it. And genes are really your inheritance from your parents. Bye. See you next time.